But when you just know how to do this stuff, they don't teach you this in school, as I'm learning.
Nobody knows how to do this.
Jab down the field, and I was like, come on, Ryan, you can take notes for us.
Like somebody just pulled up. Somebody pull up, they did, right, Reed?
That red van?
That no, I thought it was blue. That was blue. Could be right in the wall, I think.
I think so.
Maybe not, I don't know.
Well,
somebody did.
It is 6 o'clock, and we will call our Planning and Zoning Board meeting to order. First item on the agenda is a variance request for a deck from the Volma. Come on up.
We're looking to put a deck on the front. I had to mark it out. That's where the setback was, right here. You can kind of see where they spray painted. It's roughly 3 feet. I want to get out to these stakes here, so probably another 5 feet. And then it'll just run out from here to the end of the bump out here. It's going to be a low profile one, no railing and up.
You had the city mark the setback?
Yep, because I did the building permit and then they marked it here.
Oh.
You can kind of see it better on here. It's rained on it, but that was the 25-foot setback right to there. I want to come out to here with it, so it'll be roughly another 5 feet. I just kind of measured it, and to that setback line, it was probably 3 feet from the corner of the house there. Like I said, I need to come out to here, so.
How high off the ground was it?
It's probably going to be like 20 inches.
Not
yeah, just no. That's there.
Okay.
So this is the property line, and this is what the setback would be?
No, the property line is
You have,
your setback is 25 feet back from the property.
I think there's 10 feet from the street and then 25 in there.
Okay, so what are these?
That's just, that's the edge of the deck.
Oh, okay.
That's where I want to go into.
Okay, I got you.
So it's roughly 5 feet from that setback.
Okay.
For a variance request, what we do is they, it has to be published in the paper.
Yep.
And then, the letters get sent out to everybody, and
150 feet, I think it is.
something like that. I know, in the older part of town, it's pretty easy to get a variance, just because of the lot sizes and the way things were back then. And the newer part of town, it's a lot tougher.
Yeah.
One of the reasons for a variance is to show hardship, or why this is a special thing, I think. Let's see what it says. Anybody know what that says?
Undue hardship. Yeah.
There was like 3 things, wasn't there? Was there just
Yeah.
Okay, it says variance from the dimensional standards of the ordinance may be granted provided that the applicant establishes proof of practical difficulty or undue hardship. The only problem I have, being on this committee is, once you give it for one, for basically, it's hard to stop any other one, you know what I mean? And then where do you start, where do you stop? I'm not saying no this time, I'm just telling you my thought on it. What is everybody else thinking?
I agree. I mean, I wouldn't be saying no at all right now, but it is hard to know where to start drawing the line. But
I know there was a spot up on, was that Custer Drive, Marvin Stroh?
Nope.
Anyway, he lived there. He wanted a variance to build closer to the lot line on the side, and we denied that. Just because of, the reason it being, in the newer section of town, it's hard, like I said, it's hard to do variances there. So, I mean, I don't know. It would make the house look definitely nicer, I know that.
Yeah. Like I said, 3 feet, when we built it, we did left that extra 3 feet, because you lose to the back too, so you don't have a backyard, so that's kind of why we set it up like that, we even moved it back further, not knowing what we were gonna do in the front, we were thinking sidewalk or something.
Right.
Basically just had flower beds in there, and it just wasn't working out, so we figured putting a deck on there would make the front of it look a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of going with that, so we can get the sprinklers and stuff put in too, so. That's why it's all tore up now.
Yeah, I drove by today and I thought,
Yeah.
that's really tore up.
Yeah. It's not the best dirt up there either.
No, I know, yeah.
Figured we could get that in there, then we put the sprinklers in, and
Right.
that's kind of what we're waiting on also.
I wish the other
So-
two people were here, but go ahead.
Without a variance, your deck would only be 3 feet wide.
Yeah, it'd be, basically, I would be going, I wouldn't even do it, because it'd be just like a little walkway.
Like a sidewalk,
Just-
basically.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim.
One of those two is there.
So we're first on the first one, first, they're looking to build a deck off the front of their house. And basically,
Here's the setback
this would
line.
be the setback line. It's about 3 feet from the house, and he's looking to go another 5 feet out. This is up across the highway by that new water, north of that new water tower up there. So, and we kind of explained to him that, the reasons for a variance and stuff like that. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. So, yeah, as I said, I really don't, it's really hard to say, I'm not really in favor of it, especially with somebody standing there, but,
But here's the question. If we don't have a good reason for granting a variance, it's also not doing them a service to put it in the paper and have a
Right, well,
hearing
exactly.
and all of that, and still going in knowing we don't have good reason to grant a variance.
Yeah. And that was kind of with the Marvin Stroh thing. We basically told him, it's probably not gonna happen, and he went through it anyway, and it didn't happen. So, we spent that money for nothing.
Where I'm at is, well, if I don't put nothing up there, what do I do?
Yeah.
I think it'll increase, it'll make it look a lot better up there, which,
Does everybody look at this driven up there?
I did not.
Like,
I didn't.
Well, I guess we can, definitely go through the process and I guess see where it turns out.
Okay.
And then, we'd have to get a hold of Rainey, that's be in the paper 2 weeks, I think, and then there's a public hearing on it. And,
So the encroachment is 5 feet into the,
5 feet
Yep.
into the
Roughly.
setback, right?
and what's on properties on either side?
There's a street here,
Yeah,
street
so
here.
there's nothing on this.
Newly Boyd is over there.
Doug
You know,
Thomas,
where's- oh yeah, then Doug Thomas. And who's across the street?
Bass, and then there's an empty lot.
Oh, yeah, and then I think Jeff Wagner's on the other side, right?
Yeah, it's, he doesn't live there.
Oh, he doesn't? Oh, okay.
Is there a house on?
Yeah, the house here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and the house across the street. Actually, a couple of them, right? And then- or
When
no,
you look
one.
at the
One
setbacks
is
there, are they
house.
all set back? further
Yeah, they look like they're all
same?
set back about the same, don't they?
Yep.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yep.
I guess what I'm trying to come to terms with is, if Marvin Stroh came and talked to me and said, so why is this a variance and mine is not?
Mhm.
I don't know that I have a good answer for that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not,
And that was on the side or something?
Yeah,
His
on the
was,
side.
his was a side.
yeah, it was a side, I
It
mean,
was-
other than that. but-
Right.
It was more of encroaching on the other property side, right?
His was an encroachment on the side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or
was,
this is more on the street.
More
but
More in the front, right?
his adjoining property owners didn't
Here.
They
care.
didn't care, yeah.
The depths of these lots pretty deep for the,
Well, by the time you take the variance in the back too, it's not really, once you got a house up there, I mean, that's kind of why we went back 3 feet, because we wanted to have a little bit of a backyard,
Right.
because there's nothing back there.
okay.
Right.
So like how many feet is?
I don't know right
Okay.
offhand.
Yeah, so you kind of chose having a backyard versus having
Having-
all your stuff in the front.
Yeah,
Which kind of sacrifices your deck in the front.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and like I said, we had flower beds in the front there, and it just
Right.
didn't look good, I didn't think, so it was just kind of, we built it, just get something up there to get it going, and then
Mhm.
now I got it all tore up. Waiting on this to see if it's gonna go in, and we wanna get sprinklers and stuff put in.
Right.
So basically, you got the 10 feet from the street plus another 25. So I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
strictly going on precedent rather than appearance, really.
Yeah,
And
I think I would have to agree on that.
And, you know, if I can't explain why this would be a variance when the other things we looked at, we denied, then I hate to delay you putting in sprinklers by
Yeah.
3 weeks for us to,
Well, I mean,
Run
that's not,
the ad.
that's not a big deal, I need to do something up there, and
Mm-hmm.
Right.
yeah, like planter boxes or something. I don't know.
Does everybody know where that is? I don't even know if that's even on the map up there. It's not even on that map, is it, Ray? Or is it? No, it's not even on that
Okay.
map. We need a new map.
The streets are there, or the, something blue, wherever the blue is.
Yeah,
The water main is there, but not the streets shown.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I agree with Carol, you know, I would hate to see you spend your money for nothing, but, I mean, like I said, I'm leaning toward no, as far as, you know, just by going by ordinance, but, you know. I really hate to say that.
Well, I know, we never like to say no,
I
but
know.
we also put in ordinance for a reason, so
Yeah. But, I mean, that doesn't stop you from going forward with the request, that's up to you.
yeah, that's true.
but it comes down to you guys say no and don't go, right?
Well, we make a recommendation to the city commission, and then they can always overturn it. If we say they can overturn it.
I didn't grab my phone home just real quick.
So can I ask what that other guy was building, why he didn't get it? Was it a shop, or?
He was adding on a garage, I believe.
Yeah, it was a garage.
On the side, yeah, say adding a garage on the side of his place.
So they would have been with his neighbors, that's where it was at, right?
Right.
Where this is just up in
Right.
front of the street, so.
And
But
his neighbor
the
actually
reason we
had said
denied
that.
it wasn't his neighbors, because
Yep.
they
Yeah,
didn't,
Yeah, they didn't care.
no, they were fine with it, but we just denied it because if we're gonna give a variance to anybody who doesn't want to follow the ordinance, then we didn't really need an ordinance, so that's kind of the whole. as Larry said, I don't like telling somebody no either, but I don't see a way around to find a yes.
It's 25 feet from the property line.
To the, so this is 25 feet to 3 feet from the house?
Yeah.
10 feet from the street and the 25, so it's actually 35 from the street, from what I was told.
From the curb, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're actually 35 roughly,
Yeah.
so we still leave 33 feet from the street.
Right.
Say that last part again, because I was thinking here and I wasn't listening. So go ahead, I will be honest.
They have 10 feet from the curb.
Yeah,
They consider that was a city or the boulevard or
That's
something.
the boulevard.
And then they go 25 feet from that.
okay.
So by the time you do that, you're already 35 feet into it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
plus the house, and then there ain't much in the back.
Right.
I think, I can think back to the other situation. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones we've dealt with. That other one, to me, from my standpoint, it was the whole property was covered from the front, all the way across on that one. That's why I was more opposed to that one.
Okay.
You know, we basically were covering the whole, there was no access on either side of the property. That was my thought process on that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we did talk about percentage of the lot
Yeah.
covered.
Yeah, basically mine will come right off these steps right to here. And then it'll just be steps, and we're talking a low profile deck, no railing or nothing.
And we don't have to have a railing because it's low profile.
Yeah,
like
was
that.
it under 24 inches or something?
Something like that, yeah.
And it's,
Okay, so riddle me this. If it were a sidewalk instead of a deck,
Put it this way, if
Would
it were
you-
a cement, if it were a cement slab, it would.
yeah, would it be our problem? I mean, would it even be something we'd look at? So basically, he's
I
building
would-
his sidewalk out of wood. I'm looking for a loophole.
basically, but don't you need to have a building permit to put concrete into?
See, no, you never used to have to, I don't know when that changed, because you never used to have to.
That's what's been done the last few years, when I look back, it's the concrete.
Yeah, and I know you and I had talked about that, and I don't know when that changed.
Well, I'm just trying to look at advocates who say, okay, well, it's the equivalent of making a sidewalk in the front of his house, except it's not.
It's out of wood. Or is it
Yeah.
wood or composite, or what is it made of?
Basically wood, yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Yeah. If it were pavers or that type of thing, you're not doing,
Right.
Right.
you're not doing.
You're not
any-
accomplishing anything different.
That's
but
not
you
a
just-
structure, that's not a
It's
structure.
not a
The deck is
structure.
a structure.
A deck is a
And
structure.
anything, the structure needs to go.
You're not
It should
building
just
it
be
10 feet off the ground, you're building it
No,
2
Yeah.
feet off the ground.
basically it's gonna probably, if you see at the bottom of the house, the first two things of the siding, that'll be your header board, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be right off the ground.
How much space is here to the street then, or the driveway? Or it's the driveway and then the street, or?
Oh, my driveway is
I
like,
apologize, I didn't.
my driveway is like right over here, there's probably
Okay.
12, 15 feet in there, rough.
And then between the property lines?
Oh, there's, edge of my house, there's, let's see, well, you can see it right here. There's the edge of the house and the property line, there's probably another 25, 30 feet or whatever the, or more.
To me, if it's low profile and it's 5 feet variance, I'm not sure that I'm be opposed to it. But that's,
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with my logic of saying it's equivalent to having front sidewalks,
Or a slab.
slab or pavers.
if somebody put pavers there, I don't think we would have a concern.
Well, I know it definitely is much work for them on the
Yeah.
structure.
And put it in,
It's gonna be,
and they're gonna move.
is it gonna be that high?
Probably not
Couple
even,
feet?
Not even-
not even that much.
basically there'd probably only be one little step off of there,
Yeah.
in the corner there.
Well, that's what I was looking to grab onto, is how would I explain why we granted variance here compared to other places, and that would be my logic.
So I
I'm not
remember
sure.
we granted one somewhere up by the apartments.
What apartments?
I don't know what the names of them are, by Dakota Farms. I remember
Cortwood
somebody built a
Apartments?
direct, what's that?
Corwood Apartments?
Yeah. We built a deck up there on the front. We granted a variance there, but that's probably been 4 years or so.
Wasn't that for their landing, for their steps though?
Is that what it was?
I think it was. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's
Something like-
one
I
of
think that's
the
what it
few I
was.
remember granting on the front, but
What do you think, Liz? Does that lean you enough?
I
With
want
variance
to say,
direction?
I want to say yes, but I agree, how do we? How do we have a good reason either way, I guess, I don't know.
Well, I guess, you know,
Well, we've moved to right of center from where we were.
I guess the next step is, I mean, you can go for the variance, and I guess hopefully it'll turn out good.
So if it doesn't, if I put a slab there, when you need to get a building permit then? is what you're saying.
We've been issuing building permits for,
Do they cost though?
But,
yeah.
Because normally, I
but you
think,
wouldn't have to have,
normally, I think, what it used to be anyway was, you know, you were supposed to ask the city about it, just to make sure you put it on your own property, you know?
Which, I mean, I wouldn't do because my water main runs right underneath there too,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
nothing there, so I mean.
But you know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
You know, so, but when that changed, I don't know. But you never used to have one, I know that.
Is it this same building permit that you guys?
yeah, I guess I'm going with the effect
For
would be
the
the same
concrete?
as the pavers
Yeah,
or whatever,
Yeah,
so.
it's the same one,
Okay.
yeah, that's used
I
for
mean,
all
there's
those
gonna be
purposes,
something
yeah.
there in front, and
Yeah.
if this is gonna be, it's gonna add to the appearance of property,
I think it will not, first to put just the
When we
slab.
went back
I mean,
and
when
looked.
I
you-
definitely would be opposed if it was a higher deck. I
totally.
mean, I don't think that should be there. but-
Right.
This is deck, I see.
Yep.
That's the step. And the step actually gets you out another.
And that's not for sure if it's gonna wrap around there, it might just come right off the side.
Right.
All the plate walls, just to bring it down.
That's all I can say right now, is, you can go with the variance.
Yeah, I know we're not voting it tonight,
We're
but
not voting. No. And the
I
thing
have to
is,
say
the
that
neighbors
if
might
there were,
have something to say
if there
about
were
it too,
neighbors,
you know.
were the neighbors that
One
came
neighbor-
out that they didn't like.
Yeah.
The neighbors are gonna be opposed.
And I would still be supportive, I guess, by that point.
Probably would lean towards supporting it. I'd like to drive up there.
Yeah. It helps to look.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Move that forward for the public hearing then?
You're asking for a motion, or you made one?
I'm asking for motion.
Okay. If you want to proceed with that, yes,
Yeah.
I'd make the motion for a public hearing.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of moving this ahead for a public hearing, say aye.
Right.
Anyone opposed? Motion passed.
We'll go through.
Okay, you guys want to keep these pictures, or?
do
back
it
one.
for the next meeting,
We'll
yeah.
see.
And I'll
Yeah,
mark
don't give them
that
the-
back line a little bit better, 'cause it's rain and stuff's kind of washed.
Yeah.
Leave the dates there.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks, Kurt.
thanks for your time.
All right, next on the agenda is a variance request for a garage from Tweetins. Come on.
Hi.
Have a chair.
I put my headphone on the speakerphone.
So this looks like, so you guys are, yeah, so your guys' house sits kind of, you're on a corner lot,
Yep,
but it sits a little,
yeah,
crooked
it's
there.
angled.
Okay. And then,
It's hard to mow, oh, don't mow that.
yeah, so then you want your garage
Yep,
just off the side there.
mhm,
So I see you cleared a bunch of trees.
yeah.
Yeah, I just drove by
Oh my
there.
gosh, it's so much
Looks
better.
different. Wow.
Well, I'd like to have a nice yard, those evergreens don't allow for a
I know.
beautiful yard, and we don't have pets, so, you know,
Yeah.
dogs running around.
Right off the bat, the first thing I see,
Mhm.
what they're drawing here, you know, it says 25 feet from the curb.
Mhm.
That would be 25 feet from the
That's right at the,
property line.
that's right at the, yeah, just 25 feet from the curb, yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be quite a bit further back. If you
With-
actually look,
Mhm.
it would have to be 25 feet from the property
Yeah,
line.
I think Adam came and marked, the 25 feet from the road, where that line is, and then to go another 25 feet back. No, we're on such a slope,
Yeah.
and to make it blend in with our, that's like 8 feet of fill dirt we'd have to bring if we went back another,
Oh,
30
back there?
feet.
I see.
if we went back down our hill,
Oh,
back from the road another.
oh, okay,
If we went further from the road, it would
Oh.
be up to 8 feet of fill dirt,
okay.
plus the walls on top of that, and we're just trying to get it to, we have a nice home, so we're just trying to get it
Yeah.
to blend in and landscape and just have it kind of flow into the yard.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could put a trap door in and have a walkout.
There you go.
But with a corner lot, I thought it was, I was reading today about a corner lot, it says 20 feet from the
There,
side
yeah,
street.
but this isn't the side street, this is there.
The
Even though
front-
their driveway comes in on
Okay.
that, their address
Okay, I
is
didn't
Fourth
know which
Avenue.
Yeah.
Street we were,
Yeah, their
Okay.
address is Fourth
so
Avenue.
this,
Yeah.
the third street is considered the
Yeah,
side street.
that's the
Okay,
street.
Right.
so it is the 25.
Mhm.
And
And the way we were gonna pull into it, because we originally had it, we thought we'd go the long way, until we had Blue King, who does fill dirt, he brought all of his lasers, so we've done a lot of prep work to come up with this decision, and he said it would be up to 8 feet of fill dirt if we went the long way, or further down into the hill.
Mhm.
So do you have
Because we were
room for
just
like
gonna-
a little driveway here then?
There would be, if we went to the 25 mark, it
Mhm.
would be room for like a large pickup, if not more, 25 feet from the road, so it would be like but we're not having any doors on that side, so it'd just be landscaped in front, 25 feet from the road in. So.
The door would be on the west side.
Yeah, we're having a weird door, like you would think that we would drive in from 4th Avenue,
Yeah?
but
But
actually,
you're not.
this is a vacant lot over here,
Mhm.
and so we're leaving like 50 feet here
Right.
on our lot. All this will be driveway, so we can kind of go at an angle, because right now, we come in at an angle to this house,
Yep,
Yeah.
and we have a pontoon boat who's 24 feet, so it's probably 30 feet with the tongue and the motor and
Okay.
everything.
okay.
And so we need to be able to
So
get
you
that
don't need any
in.
parking spots here?
No, that'll
Your
just be
parking
land,
will be
yeah.
over here.
I mean, we might
Okay.
just do a gravel or something for one, we've got 3 kids and they're all gonna be driving, and our garage is only a 1-car garage.
Keep them off the street, or keep the cars
So
off
it's
the
really,
street.
it's
Yeah.
complicated. We've really thought it through, and we've talked to a bunch of, we've talked to, Dan Wagner from Bismarck, who would help us or build it, and Blue King for fill dirt.
Okay.
So we're really looking at two issues. One is, because it would be a hardship to push it back further and do the fill dirt, is the distance here. And the other thing is, we still haven't solved our little brainchild about going across
Two
lots.
lots.
Well,
Yeah, so
the-
It's like
a
20
two-
feet into
two-foot,
our house
right?
lot.
A
Yeah,
twofer.
yeah, it is.
Two for the price
Well,
of
isn't
one.
there also there has to be does it meet the minimum distance between the structures?
I think there might be 20 or 30 feet, but we have to be able to get into our house in the winter, so we'd have to make a walkway, and our front door is probably 50
Right here,
feet. Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty far from where it would be, so we need to try to get a walkway for winter time in there.
Right.
But there is, it would be, I
You're
don't know,
thinking
40
this
feet
point
from our
right
house?
here?
Well, we just need to know if it's,
30 feet. It would probably be like 30, 40 feet.
we need to know what the distance is, because I think isn't it 20 feet in the ordinance of,
Well,
we did an addition on the back of our house, and I know we had to stay so far away from our garages.
There's,
Yeah.
When
for
was
sure,
this?
there's probably 30 feet for
Well,
sure.
8 years ago. 8 years ago. When he came and did the research, that's what he told us, so.
Who did the research?
It would have been Leo Vetter. I just bring it up because it's fresh in my mind, so.
I don't see where that would even be an issue, but, I guess my concern is, you know, if you go by the ordinance, you know, it says, you know, the garage would be on 2 different additions, okay? You know, if you look, you know, it says, accessory building needs supporting building or portion of the main building, the use of which is clearly incidental to and serves exclusively the principal building and shall be located on the same zoning lot. You know, and a lot is considered, a single lot, parcel, or tract of land within the zoning district. I believe you have 2 different parcels on this, correct? I mean, this is a parcel and
Yep,
this is a
there's
parcel.
3 total, yep, so.
So, I'm thinking, it's just my thinking here, you might have to do kind of what Colleen did, is join these together in one lot. But since they're in 2 different editions, you might actually have to, say, make the Tweeten edition, make it your own edition, you know what I mean? I'm thinking that's, from what I see, that's probably what needs to be done. Unless I'm wrong on that.
Well, here's the thing, if we have the ability to grant a variance to one part of the ordinance, do we not have the ability to vary that piece just as easily as any other piece?
Well, a variance, like I said, well, you know, a variance is practical difficulty or undue hardship.
Right, right. That's
Joining the
reason.
lots is not a practical difficulty or undue hardship. You know what I mean? Moving the garage back because you need 8 feet of fill, now that's a difficulty or a hardship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just going by what the ordinance says, you know.
Well, and part of this is because it's in the old section of town, and that's why we have
Yep,
so many lots in so many chunks.
yep. These are not small lots though. But anyway, go
Well,
ahead.
no.
This lot here wasn't that just recently filled in the last few years, am I thinking one
Nope,
further over?
there's a bigger vacant one next to it.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
next to
and
it,
that,
okay.
we don't own that.
This one's been here.
Do you know where that sewer line runs through there? Is that over here or
it's-
is that here?
I think it's right,
So I think there's one over right here,
It
right,
runs through
right
there.
borderline on that.
Okay.
And then the water, our water shut off is right
Right, I know you
here,
have a water shut off there, yeah.
or our water line or
I
whatever.
just didn't know where that
But
sewer
I
ran.
believe it's over there. Adam came and walked around with Chad and I wasn't out
Oh.
there, but Adam didn't think it was an issue. It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
anywhere near
Okay.
it.
Yeah, because I know that's one thing I had mentioned,
Mhm.
because he asked me about it, and I left a note here. You need to see where that, because the sewer line goes through there, and it goes to the alley, is what it, you know,
Okay,
does.
yep.
So, when they measured this, did they?
no, when I
Well,
met.
put
My
it this way,
artwork, no.
when Adam was there,
Uh-huh.
did he mark where the property line is?
Yeah, he did, like,
So you're 25 feet in, well, I had a surveyor come out.
I think that gets you right close to the property line.
No, this is our property line, we got 50 feet from.
No, this way.
Oh, we're really, it's only gonna be maybe 10 or 20 feet over it. I did have a surveyor come, and do
So-
we have that, the surveyor? A surveyor came and did mark out our lot.
Is that the one that you just brought
Okay,
me?
I'm not talking the setback line, I'm talking the
Oh.
property line.
Yeah, I did have a surveyor come and do all 3 lots to kind of, I brought those in.
Because I remember,
Someone has them.
I remember looking it up on GIS, for the county GIS, and there was quite a bit of right-of-way in here. And
So this is all that I have from you.
I think we attached it to it. Mhm.
And then this is one that I printed. And then this was the questions that they had.
Oh, that one.
Okay.
what's that one you printed, Rainey? See that one?
I don't know if that was the surveyors who came.
Yeah, this,
That doesn't tell you anything.
this one, let's see, this is 4th Avenue, it really doesn't show it either. See, this is a 80-foot wide street, okay? And actually, when you get to the, so basically, from the middle of the road, well, you know what?
There's no real boulevard on this street then, right?
There's no boulevard.
What?
I mean, there was
Well, no, the actual right-of-way is 80 feet, not the actual street, the right-of-way. Basically, I call the right-of-way the street, I mean, 80 feet.
So from this side, 80
From
feet?
here to here to here is 80 feet.
Okay.
From here to here is 6 feet. The street is not that wide. The street is like this wide, you know, okay? Follow that?
I did,
Essentially,
I'm
the
not sure I
property line
agree,
is
but I
not
follow
the
it.
edge of the
The
street,
property
it's
line
in
is-
further.
Right.
Yeah, we go,
See, to
well,
me, I
yeah,
thought
we
the
go.
property line would be at the curb,
Well, that's-
because
No,
they
no,
actually
that's
didn't build
not.
in an
No, and we
boulevard
were,
on that.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's not. So there's the curb, but then it's 25 feet in, Adam marked us.
And
25
that's,
feet
and that's where the
in.
property line is.
Yeah, and that's right where we want it.
So that's
To
right
start
on the,
it.
so
That's
that's
why
right
our
on the
variance.
edge of your property.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you would need a 25-foot variance.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
so
big
that's
one.
why he's asking for a 0 variance. Well, that's what he wrote on the front, because that's where, on that
So it'd be a
line.
25-foot variance, not a 0
Right,
variance.
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
It's a
And 0
25
clear.
foot
Sorry,
Okay,
I
gotcha.
guess I knew.
I'm following.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that part.
Okay, I would like to see that before, doing anything, but I still have the question of joining the lots together. That's my big question.
And does that have to do with resale, or how does that affect? Because obviously if it's on 2 lots, I can't sell one, we'd have to sell the whole compound, which is fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's how we would do it anyways.
Yeah,
But-
it's just, kind of like with Kirk there, it's what the ordinance says. It's
Okay.
kinda, and,
And it's kind of an ongoing issue with us, trying to figure out
well, it is.
what defines a yard or a compound compared to the taxable units, the way they're set up in parcels. I don't know that how the parcels
well,
are set up for tax definition, what that really has
Well, the
to
thing
do with
is,
us.
you would have this
Mhm.
building on 2 different parcels, 2
Yep.
different tax parcels.
Yep,
How do you split that?
Mm,
You know what I mean?
okay, that makes sense.
so they can't,
You can't do
Assess
half,
it
you
really
can't
because
do-
half
you
the
can't do
building is-
60% here and 40% here, it doesn't
Okay.
work that way.
Yeah. You have a neighbor right across right here.
Yeah, the Van
So-
Horn, Cheryl and Dennis Van Horn.
And how do they feel about,
Cheryl said, cut down your trees, and I'd build a garage too, because they know we don't have a garage for
Right.
as much space as we have.
Right.
But we would put it through, so far my neighbors, one says
Mhm.
go as big as you can, and, one just says great, but it doesn't.
just didn't know, because their front of their house, really will probably
Yeah, and they're up a
look
little
right-
bit higher,
So-
we're on the hill, so
Yeah.
we're below them, so they are up higher.
Right,
But it's not like there's a view of the river
right.
from there or anything.
so adjoining this all into one parcel is really a financial issue, it's not any other kind of issue. It's you must therefore pay to join your lots. Is that what I'm hearing, or?
Well, until we
So it would be a
decide to
taxable.
change the wording or whatever we
Yeah, well-
wanted to do with that. I mean, this
But
keeps
that's,
coming up.
that's the
Well-
idea, right?
And then that, well, that might be a question to ask Ryan is, how do you put it on two different parcels? How do you split it? You can't split it,
But leaving that aside and saying, okay, so we have to join these up. So there's a cost for surveying and a cost for doing that.
Well,
but
right, it's a cost
Other than
of doing
that,
I don't know, what did
We've
it
already
cost?
done
to
the
survey?
survey.
Well, we started the survey process. We paid
Oh.
one payment to
Oh.
just get them, just to come and confirm
where your
Well,
posts were.
where our posts were, yeah, because the city didn't know where they were,
Where was
so.
that other one, that survey?
This right here.
So I had them.
So you
come to
actually have
confirm.
that, so that's,
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get down to is,
Well, so
okay,
you already have the survey.
What's our-
Yeah, but it's not joined, like
Oh,
I
it's not
haven't.
joined.
No, that's just, they just found all the markers. They just found, because the city, I asked the city to come and see if they can find the markers, so we didn't have to do that, but,
So this is the Tewksbury one and this is the Jesser one.
yep.
But anyway, so you already have that, so I
Yeah.
mean, the hard part's already done,
yeah, so that's what I'm saying, we don't really have that far to go.
yeah.
It's
Well,
just so complicated. I know we've
you
lived
would-
there 11 years and we just need a garage.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you already have the survey, that's the expensive part,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah.
And then, so then if you just join it, make it as like one,
Well, that's what I'm trying to get down to
Thing.
is, okay, so what would we be asking her to do?
I like to make it complicated for you.
everything's complicated.
Yeah,
That's the way it is.
we argue just for
It
that.
goes both ways, right?
Yes, we do plenty of that.
Yeah.
Or did you want this to go?
No, I don't know.
I think Rainey,
So-
we're
so leaving
stockpiling, we'll
the-
give them back to her.
Leaving the distance aside, because we can kind of come up with a justification for undue hardship for Filter, then our issue is we need all these parcels to be joined together, and what would have to happen to make that happen? She'd have to go to the county and ask to join them, or you
What is-
wave a
what is
magic
called-
You have to do a
wand?
plat, right?
She had them surveyed, and I
Yeah.
think they just to ship 2 or 3 lots.
She had
If
two.
it was 2,
She had
then
two.
they just made it into one.
They made it into one, right?
Or, no, I think her garage had to be on the other lot, because it would have
No, she
paid more
made it
money.
into one lot.
She did,
She made it instead of 1 and 2, she made it into like,
Yeah.
like 3,
she did.
or like 2A or whatever.
Yeah, because there's only 14 feet in between
Or
her
12A,
house.
I think that's what
Yep,
she made it, yeah.
there's 14 feet in between our house and her garage.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
so that would basically probably have to be the same thing. But the thing is, you'd probably have to make an addition out of it, say, make it say Tweeten addition or whatever you want to call it, because these are 2 different additions.
Yeah,
Okay.
what are the chances of that?
So-
What?
What
Oh,
are the
that's
chances of that, having 2 additions?
so again,
Yeah, I
how,
know.
not to belabor a point, but again, what would we have to do? Does that mean it takes
That's
act of
what-
Congress to make a new addition, or
No.
we just go to the
No, you
county
just-
and say?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just find out what you gotta do and you do it.
So if
And
I
then
go
you
back
bring
to
it, I
these
think you have to
survey,
bring it to,
so if I
the
go back
city.
to these
Do you not have
surveyors,
to do a plat?
it would be,
So then that would cost her $500.
well, but.
That's what I'm looking for.
but-
Thank
but-
you.
But do you remember how we had determined that, whose place was that? That was when Gozes did theirs, remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
We considered that basically a lot split, or not, a lot joining rather than
then
a
re-
plat, because a plat is when you do like a whole big area.
Because it was
Right.
cheaper.
That's the
yeah.
Okay, okay, I remember
You
that.
know?
so the surveyor, though, from my understanding, can make this the Tweeten edition,
I
and
would
then,
think
and
so,
then
yeah.
submit it to
The county.
County.
the county. He said that he would know, he could figure out, because I was unsure. He said, well, we can figure it out if you
Well-
don't. So he said that they would help make calls if we needed to
Yeah.
further it.
It shouldn't be real complex. I mean, if you take it to the county, even the way it is, they should be able to give you like a little laundry list, right? Of,
Right.
here's what we need you to do,
Yeah.
here's how much our part will cost.
Well, I know when I bought my area up there, I had quite a bit of property, and I replatted that. I mean, the expensive part was the survey.
Yeah.
The rest of it wasn't bad at all.
And it's not like they have to have a board look at it and either agree or not agree to starting that new little addition, right? It's just a rubber stamp, here's your receipt.
Well, I think you weren't here then, right? did those have to bring that before the city commission? Did it approve? I don't.
They don't, theirs was different though, because of something that had happened in the past, or there was a mistake, or
Yeah, but they were fixing it, is what they were doing.
Yeah.
they were squaring it off and fixing it.
Well, right, but it was
Yeah.
basically the same thing, basically.
But, well, there was one down here.
Well,
though,
Elaine
too.
Carr, yeah.
Yeah, Elaine's reminds me of this, is what this one reminds me of
Well,
this.
that's true, yeah, right.
This is more like Elaine's than Goz's, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and
She had to replat.
Right,
She had to replat.
yeah. Yeah, she put all hers into one parcel.
Right.
You know, it actually saves you money by doing
Well, that would, oh, great.
Well, it does,
Right after
because
you
when
spend,
specials
must-
go out,
Mhm.
this way you get hit with specials twice. rather than once. See, the old way, so.
I mean, so we're prepared to replat if needed.
I think, based on what we did with Elaine's, I think Go's is different, I don't remember the details, but I think Elaine's was exactly this situation.
Well,
Put it into one parcel.
But Elaine's wasn't on two different editions.
No, that's what's unique
So
about
the
this.
additions are, yeah, it's not the lot, the additions that are,
Yeah, that's what's kind
Messing
of
with
screwing
that.
it up, yeah.
Okay, so am I right in saying that if she took this to the county and got dispensation and blessing, or whatever it is that they can grant for us, putting it together,
There's no
that we don't
variance.
have any problem at this board?
No, there's
Because
no.
we would be granting just a variance to, or are we also doing a replat from our perspective?
We'd have to grant the variance to build that close
the
to the
dirt,
property
yeah.
line because
Okay.
of the dirt.
But we wouldn't have to, she's not coming to us for a replat, please pass go
No.
and submit $500. That's what we're getting
No.
to. Okay. So, I don't know what the county would charge you, but it's not something we can do, right?
We did not have to have a hearing on the replats, as I remember. Is that
No.
correct?
I don't think we did, no.
So there's no cost to us to,
It, you know, we kind of said it's kind of like a lot split, you know. Remember we did that, because we didn't actually have a lot joining, you know,
yeah.
so we kept it in the same ballpark. You know, because it's really, you're not really doing a plat. You know, a plat's when you take a piece of ground and you go in and you go, okay, this is our preliminary plat, this is what we plan on doing, okay. You know, and then, lay out your street and all that stuff, but.
So your point is we wouldn't be calling a variance request?
No, we
because
wouldn't
why?
be calling it a $500
I
plat.
think he actually did
Submission.
that.
Well, I'm thinking if the county does the plat, that we're not really doing anything but the variance. Are you telling me we'd still be doing two things here?
Well, we have to do one before the other. One has to be
Okay,
done
so-
before the other.
Even if she goes to the county and gets the royal dispensation, we would still have to do a lot joining from our perspective and a variance.
We
from
would
our
have to do the variance.
Just the variance.
Well, I believe so.
And then
We
you would
probably
sign
need to
off
research that a
yeah.
little bit more, but,
And then
Yeah,
once
'cause
it
that's-
was one lot, then you guys could sign off if the variance went through, and then,
right.
and then once this is done, then you guys would give the okay. Well, and then it goes through the paper and all
Right.
that stuff too, but.
You know.
Yeah, just for the variance part.
But we should wait till the.
Yeah. But that's what
Well,
I'm
yeah,
asking.
you don't do
Is-
the
We're not
variance
doing anything
before
with the
it.
variance
Well,
right
that's
now.
what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Does she need to check two boxes here plus go to the county, or is it just one
Well, I
thing
think
that she'd be asking us for?
just the
And-
variance, once the lot issue is
Okay, so we don't have.
taken care of. I
Well,
When you talked about
the
lot
thing is,
splitting,
though, the thing is,
that's
though,
different.
there's like the lot splitting, you know, there's the,
Yeah, see, that
you know,
doesn't
and
fit
that's
that
$200, and that would
That's
be.
two answers.
That would be part of this, you know, joining the lot too. That would fall under that. Because that's what we
So
did
you-
before.
So you are saying we'd need two of these?
But that was only in the case of the Gozes, and that was, as I recall, Larry, and that was, there was,
Well, we should research.
well, you need to know, there was some special circumstances, that something, because they had been round and around and around, and that was kind of, I felt like it was a compromise position we did, Because they paid other fees or things too, if I remember right.
Well, originally what happened, if I remember the goes, is, you know, they charged them $500 for a plat submission. And he said, no.
Yeah, it wasn't a plat.
No,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why they got like $350 back.
Well, I know I'm arguing about $200, but I'm just trying to figure out,
Right.
what are
How
we
does
gonna
it
charge her
work?
when she comes back?
Right.
So that she knows up front what she's looking at.
And I'm sure you just want to get it done.
Well, we've
Well,
already
because
been working on it
Rainbow
for
doesn't
2
know
months,
what to ask
we're
for.
doing
Well, we
don't
prep
have
work
anything
to
to
get
do.
to this point.
The
Well, you know-
joining,
So
we
give
don't
us
really
some
have
time.
anything
You know,
to. or-
Colleen took a while to get hers
Right.
done too, you know.
If they're lot splitting,
Um,
that's probably a difference. Yeah, but that's-
Yeah, but that's what he's saying he wants to apply. So that's just why I wanna nail,
Hey, that- you
Well,
don't-
because
you don't
I really
happen to
like
have
our-
your stack of papers from the goes just to
I
see
don't,
what-
that was probably one of the first ones I remember that one coming through.
oh my gosh.
I know. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? I had to go to the
I
rubber
can go
band
look in the
today.
folders if you want me to.
Yeah.
Well, I
After the
don't know,
nurse operation.
but I would like to know why we did that one different. There was a reason
Mhm.
versus cars.
Oh, look here.
They were handled differently.
So bottom line, while we're researching
Mm-hmm.
this $200 issue, is that we're still okay with going to the county and getting your lots put together and, well, we battle out how
So you
we're
think that's
supposed to
the
charge.
first thing I would do, like, tomorrow, go to, is it Ryan?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right,
His
Okay.
office.
Ryan over, yeah.
Ryan
Over
over.
it.
And then tell him what do we want to do, and he'll give me my laundry list.
I
And
would-
then we
hope,
follow,
would
and then
guess.
we talk to him first.
yeah,
See, originally
did?
goes said
No.
$500, and it was, no,
I do
no,
better
no.
if I know who people
Then
are.
if you-
If I'm like,
it
oh, I
was-
know Ryan, I would've ran up there last week, but no.
yeah.
Well, I know,
It
it
was
was,
to realign the east boundary to be perpendicular
Anyway, because I think that's the only issue we're hung on.
but
We're not
see, but
really
that's the way it was, the
having a
lot
problem
was
with
set
the
up
idea that
originally.
you would certainly
And they
qualify
were
for a
trying to
variance
get
because it
them
would be
straightened
undue
out.
hardship.
They wanted,
to
you know, because the
move
lot
ahead of
went
the
this
25
way,
feet. So we got no
and they
problem.
wanted to square everything off.
Well, I mean, we'll have to do
So
the,
that's what they were doing.
publish in the paper and all that stuff.
They ended up getting a
and
bunch of money
As long
back.
as your neighbors have no problem either,
But they're in the same,
that should be relatively
Yeah.
straightforward.
But it was
I
already,
think all we're
found one.
really going in circles around is which,
Yeah,
each
well,
of these
it's
boxes
not something that
apply.
happens every day either, you know?
And we, well, we're just trying to make sure that we applied it fairly, that whatever we did to the first two people that ran into this issue, that we don't
We'll
suddenly
treat
change
everybody
our
the
mind,
same,
yeah. So, other than that, we don't really have another magic
they've
hoop
got
to drop.
Just written in here that said, 7/21, Mike Gold was at the preliminary plot. We're told he will be scheduled next planning and zoning on August 4th, and we'll move forward with a public hearing if approved. Question if this was more of a lot split. Showing Adam last week, and he had said it was a replat. And then on August of 2016, planning and zoning met, recommended changing application to a lot split and refunding the difference. 8/5/16, city commission meeting motion made to the refund to go with the $300 for the difference in fee. So it was a
Okay.
matter of a couple of years, but then you refunded the
Okay.
fee.
so the lot split would be a public hearing, or the lot split would be a public hearing. Right?
Say again?
The lot, it would be a public hearing for the lot. Go ahead.
I don't know, we don't have any ordinance
There's,
about lot
yeah,
joining.
there's nothing.
Well, didn't we have,
We started working on it and we didn't actually finish it, so.
well, I know, but we've been, what did we do for Colleen? Didn't we do we did a public hearing on hers.
Did we?
Anyway,
Or was it the variance?
and that was the lot joining. Yeah, I think we did a public hearing on that.
Is the public hearing the paper?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we did, yeah, we did.
Mhm.
So, yeah, this would be taking the public hearing.
And can the public hearing be for both the fact that it's 25 feet from the street and,
Well, they're two
Lot
different
joining.
issues.
right,
they're two different.
I'm trying not to
areas.
delay her like 6 weeks for publishing it twice.
Well, the problem is, if the first one says no, then the second one really doesn't fly, but I don't see anybody's gonna say no.
Well, and,
You can do both at the same time.
yeah, that's what I'm asking, can't we have both hearings at the same time?
I don't know why not.
And, I mean sequentially, but same night.
Yeah, I don't know why not.
Otherwise, that just adds an inordinate amount of time for nothing.
That's true. And everything takes time. And everything goes before the city commission.
Right.
And
So
that's
that
what
we'd
it
have
is.
to fit
That's
their
what it is
meeting
in
in.
the summer, we have 2 meetings a month, so.
Yeah, so. Just trying to streamline this down as far as we can.
We really need to write all this stuff down.
We really need a lot joining
I know,
thing,
and
but
we've been using it.
we
as
haven't
a thing.
arm wrestled that out yet, so we can't apply an ordinance we don't
Well,
have.
I didn't bring a pencil, I'm trying to think in my head, okay, what do I have to do?
Yep, so
So we would need a
can
motion
we
to-
start the public hearing publication part before she goes to county?
Ah,
Can we start that
That'd be
now?
pretty tough, because it's gotta put a little map in there saying what you're doing.
Well, you have to describe what you're doing.
Right. But we can get the motion going, or get the movement going, so that when she is ready, then it can just be put in the paper. You know, rather than meeting here again. So, you know, say it takes 2 weeks to get that figured out, then it can go in the paper after that. So, I'm just saying. Right?
I'm thinking, can't you smell
Are you
things
taking
burning?
notes,
Yes.
Tracy? You know I'll be calling you.
So if we put it in the paper now, and it doesn't go at the county, then
Not going in the
Well,
paper
just
now
make-
Can't
until
go in
she
the
gets it
paper
figured
now.
out. Because
why?
it has to be listed on what you're doing.
Yeah, can't we?
You can't say
describe it?
we intend to make up our mind on what we're gonna do here.
No, we
by doing
intend
it
to
live.
create a new edition. Or you're saying we can't come up
You
with
have
that
to have,
description?
I think we have to have the legal description in
Yes,
there.
yeah, the legal is all in that,
And that has to come from Ryan,
yeah.
okay.
At least that's what it looks like in the past. You've had the whole
Right.
legal descriptions, this lot, blah, 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 you know,
Yes.
and then it's in the paper.
So it already has to be tweet and edition before we put it in the paper. Okay?
Or whatever they wanna call it, I mean, call it,
No, I like the sound of that.
You can
I always
call
tell
it,
my kids,
Tweet
someone's gotta buy
acres.
this house if we ever have to leave.
Tweet
you
and
can call it the
acres,
exit edition, you call it whatever you want, I mean, you know,
that's the view and Ryan.
the big toe edition, whatever, you know, call it what you want. Okay.
All right, so can we vote in advance in anticipation of her doing that, so that,
We can vote giving permission to, go ahead with
Move
it.
forward.
that's what I'm looking
Move
for.
forward with it.
Can I get something clarified in my mind? So I get in my head around the lot splitting, and we don't have lot joining on here, and so when do you do plat submission then?
We're not doing a plat submission.
But when do we do it? When do we?
If somebody
when-
wants to add an addition to Washburn, like the, you know, they're gonna do a housing addition with 8,
So,
Like Johnny Renner, when he went up there and he split his lots off, you know, because they were all agricultural, he goes,
Yeah.
okay, I want to make, you know,
Right.
Renner, whatever it was, you know, okay, we're going to build a hotel there. There's this one and this one.
Yeah.
That's a plat, because you're taking agricultural land and you're making a plat out of it.
yeah.
so what did we do, then what was unique about, did we change our position from when cars did theirs? 'Cause why did they have to do a plat submission?
Because they were joining all their lots together. It wasn't a plat submission, it was a joining of lots.
But we charged them 500.
Cars,
Yeah.
did they? I don't think so, did they?
I would,
love for it.
I don't know, we'd
you're
have,
the only one here.
we'd have,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think we charged.
So we need lot joining, and it's
We do.
basically
But that's-
taking all those lots, join them together, we charge the $200 fee
Right.
then for that. You still have to do the survey though, it looks like, which
Got the
you've
survey,
done.
you know.
And then if I read through all this,
See, now,
it's about
this is a
flat,
little-
then, yeah, it's a little different,
This is the goal sign.
yeah.
So
So
are we
does
gonna
the
actually-
join the lot has to be approved by the commission then? just like a lot split would have to be.
Yeah, because there's a public hearing.
Yeah.
And they can both be done, you know, if you advertise them both the same day, do public hearing on the same day, then it goes to the city commission, they can decide on both of them.
Okay, thanks for letting me use that, I appreciate it.
I know, it sounds complicated. Sometimes I think,
Well, as many people as I've already dealt with, and not just you guys, but, you know,
I know.
getting
I
other
know.
things lined up and stuff, it is, but after 11 years, then you know that this is our forever home, we're ready to
it's
do it.
gonna look nice when you're done.
Oh,
It's
well.
the right solution.
I do have an issue with your, since you're here, I'm gonna bring
Yes,
it up.
since
I do
you're
have an issue with your, you know, steel siding.
Well, whatever it looks nice with our house.
Yeah, I would be really opposed to steel siding.
I have
Well-
steel siding on my house.
Well,
For
then,
maintenance?
I guess, what do you mean by steel siding?
Well,
I guess that's a good question.
like,
What do you mean by
okay,
that?
we would probably do a two-toned, and then I tried to, you know, I got Pinterest pictures, but really. So, you know, we would do the builder we're talking to, he's working on that, but we were gonna do a two-tone, probably brown to match our house, but our roof is a darker brown.
Yeah.
And then, so we do a two-tone brown, and then we would do, we're doing bump outs, 2 8-foot bump outs in front along 4th Avenue, just for architectural, just so it's not a flat building. He wants to do 2 8-foot bump outs with windows, just
Oh.
decorative, to make it look nicer, he thought, for like, you know, the Van Horns who have to look at it.
Right.
And then the roof line would be altered too, to make it look more nicer.
Okay.
Yeah, so each bump out would have a roof line, and then he thought maybe shingles, and Chad's like, shingles? You know, because Chad wants no maintenance, but
So when you say steel siding, it looks just like, just the regular,
I would think so, but then maybe on the top half, nowadays they do like, you could do like a scalloped, like a composite, maybe, like decorative.
Oh.
I think like the Kings did it
But
on
you're not talking
theirs.
about vertical
panels.
steel panels that make it look like a pole building, is what we're
I
asking.
don't think
Better not be.
so. No, well, no, we.
but you know what, when you go for the building permit, you have to show what it's gonna look like.
Okay,
So, yeah.
because I emailed the builder and I was like, can you show me some, because I don't think he's on Pinterest either. I'm like, can you show me some
Yeah.
suggestions? He does a lot of these and.
And it's a stick-built building, right? I mean, it's 2x4s or 2x6s,
Yes, and then,
yeah,
yes, steel and which, you know, spray foam and all that fun stuff.
yeah, so,
It'll be stick, yes.
yeah, okay. But like I said, that goes with the building permit, so
Okay.
Lisa?
we're not talking about that now. Building permit, I was just asking a question.
But no, that is, I would say it would go, I need it to look.
Oh, right.
So I'm, maybe, you know, linear
Right.
Mhm.
and two-toned and textures. Our house has a lot of texture, we want it to blend, and then landscape.
Okay, yeah, so the building permit part's gonna be later. You gotta
Okay.
get all this other stuff done. So, but this would be like for a variance request and for, it says lot split, but it'd be lot joining, you know.
Is it Washburn's ordinance or is it Wilton that I'm thinking of it as? You have to have the same type of materials in your exterior buildings
Oh.
in your lot.
Well.
I don't, I mean,
Well,
you've got
you might
brick,
need a
yeah,
variance for that.
Yeah, you're not gonna do brick, I know that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
For sure, but.
You know,
Not
No, and
because
I
the
blew
brick-
it has to be aesthetically pleasing to
That's
the
not,
neighbor.
that's Rainey's worry over
We're
there.
gonna try to match it the best that we can.
Right, right.
Browns, coppers,
Yeah, and I
tans.
think it even said that in here somewhere.
Okay, so,
So, we have a motion to move forward for the public hearing.
so moved.
Second?
A second.
Any further discussion?
God, no.
What'd you say? Oh,
All right, all in favor of moving the variance request and the adjoining lots, request to a public hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
sorry it took so long.
No, I was anticipating more. That's okay, because I knew that there was a lot going on.
Yeah,
So Ryan's my next stop then, right? And then,
I would say, yeah, he could steer you in the right direction. He's pretty sharp.
okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with him so well.
Well, and at least we have this part already passed, so when you come to talk to Rainey, she doesn't have to try and cobble us together and bear butts in here, so.
I'm trying to get
You know, Brian's wife is also on planning and zoning, she's
Yeah.
not here tonight.
Oh, it's Heidi?
And,
And-
Oh, Ann, oh,
yeah, you know the other Heidi, Ann.
Sanderson, Sanderson, yeah. Okay, yeah, no.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So, since we are on the joining of lots issue, we need to just put on our agenda to discuss any changes we want to make to the lot joining ordinance. How do we want to is it just a matter of adding a little check box to check on the variance request form so that we, so we treat it like a lot splitting, or do we want to discuss it further to make any changes?
Good question. I think we need to put a box on here, and then, we also, I think, need to have a little area in here that, kind of maybe explains it a little bit better about, I had these notes on, where the hell is it? Where I saw it.
Carol had sent an email. I'm
Yeah, I
guessing
was
this was a
trying to
year
come up
ago.
with a definition of
Yeah.
yard, but
Yep.
it seems like Ann and Ryan then got started on it,
Yeah.
and we
Well,
took a big circle.
it
So
would
I-
be
I
nice
do
to make
worry.
it that simple,
Yeah,
but I don't think it is that simple. It's gonna take a little bit of work. You know what I mean?
I do, but I hate seeing us add
Changing your
another,
ordinance, so you have to follow those rules.
right, I understand the voting and that kind of thing, but it seems like I don't want to see it be another administrative hurdle that property owners have to jump through, because, a lot of town property is, they own 3-4 lots.
Mhm.
I have 3 parcels where I live.
Put them all in one, be cheaper.
Well, I'm sure I should have, but it's a little like,
Why?
But, okay, so if I wanted to add on to my shop and put something in the middle, yeah, it'd still be on my property, but it would cross the plat lines or the parcel lines. So,
Parcels are taxed differently. They're taxed separately.
mm,
How many tax statements do you get?
question 3, I think.
Yeah, see, they're taxed separately. So you can't put them on 2 separate parcels. Some parcels have like 1, 2, 3 lots in them,
Yeah,
but see, it's parcel, it's already a parcel, It gets to be,
Okay,
a real
so-
pain in the ass.
well,
And
yeah,
maybe
what
these,
stops-
maybe these rules are way too stringent, I don't know.
So, let's see, May 29th, 2018, our minutes from our planning and zoning meeting, where Ryan had come to the meeting, and so we discussed the process of joining lots. Mr. Orr felt that existing ordinance could be modified to include lot joining rather than writing a separate ordinance.
Right.
So, it sounds like on his end, we could just make an administrative.
and the justification for us making an administrative hoop, so to speak, and charging people $150 is that we actually incur an expense to be able to rewrite the parcel definitions and change what we have in our tax records.
If we change the ordinance, it has to be done properly.
Right.
But
But that aside, the reason for us making it $150 or $200 request, what's our justification for charging people $200 to join their lot? That's
Because
that's
you have
what
a
I
public
mean.
hearing,
Okay, so
and
we,
you have secretary of work from the office and stuff like that, or whatever.
But backing up,
And I think
I
doesn't
know
that,
what you're-
that also covers, that also covers the publishing of the paper.
okay. But if I'm joining my lots, why does that have to go to the paper?
file paperwork with the county. You've
Right.
got, there's gotta be some administrative work that goes along with that.
That makes sense to me, but
Yeah.
the whole, having a public hearing, why? What could people come in and talk to us about that says, no, you can't let them join that lot?
Well, let me ask this, then why do you care if they split a lot?
That's my next question, but splitting maybe says,
Because it's-
okay, they're gonna have an orphan garage, or there's gonna be some effect on my neighborhood, because now it's two pieces.
So isn't the orphan garage issue where this started, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And so there's this, so it's 117.6.9, number 3. Accessory buildings and structures are not allowed in residential zone district lots without a principal dwelling unit. I assume that was the clamp down on the orphan.
should
Exactly
have
right.
covered that, and so
So, because we have clamped down on that, now we're making people jump through these hoops. It was kind of an unintended consequence, I think, because we ended up with a lot of people that have these contiguous lots, that in order to fit this, they have to join their lots, which, that's the only reason we have to go through this rigmarole. So is there some way we can fix that to allow for the contiguous lot requirement without having to have them go through a public hearing?
public hearing, yeah.
Because we seem to be okay with the joining of the lots because it's obviously not contributing to the, you got a garage over here in this neighborhood, but you live in that neighborhood kind of a thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
It just seems
that's the
like-
part I can't, why we would make everyone go through a public hearing and a long delay to join their lots together. Because
Like I said,
who's gonna come into a public hearing and say something that would influence,
You'd be surprised.
what
But
could they
did
say?
Did this come up, this kind of lot joining thing come up though before this crackdown happened? I mean, that was before my time on the board.
The reason I think the reason a lot of this came up is because, you know where Mike Langang lives?
Yeah,
North
That's-
State Road? He has a garage on each side of him with no
Yeah.
house.
yeah,
It
that's
has
the
the
orphan
largest
garage
property
thing.
values, like way down.
Yep.
Right, but
Yep.
that has nothing to do with joining lots.
Well, the point of joining lots is so that people can't do stuff like that anymore.
Right, so why would we charge them extra?
For the same reason we charge them to split lots.
But they
It's an
could,
ordinance.
But on our end, when we split lots, we make sure that it's, we're splitting them correctly and
Yeah.
to a certain size and
Yeah.
a use, right?
Yeah, that it's big
You know.
enough to do something with,
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how I see it, but,
because that was like Pyre's
Yeah.
difficulty with splitting lots. That's the reason it has to come before us, because we don't want little chunks that
yeah,
have no,
and wind up with issues with the older part of town
Yeah.
where we have
but
tiny
I
lots
don't
or whatever.
understand joining lots. I don't understand, other than the administrative cost
Well,
of doing
well,
paperwork.
let's just, and I don't know if this is even a possibility, but it's a great example. But we have our lots on Fourth Avenue there, where there are 4 lots, or however many lots there are there. We bought Heddletwit's lot behind us. Now, there is an alley, but let's, so I don't know if it's a possibility or not, but if I wanted to join those lots and put a building back there, would my neighbors want a hearing on that? Because, would they, because
Well, I don't know how you can join it because they're not touching each other.
that's, I don't even know if it's a possibility,
Yeah, I
but,
would
but,
say it's not.
but say if it's the other way, I mean, it could be the other direction.
If
then,
you
it's-
joined your lots and your building that you built fit all the requirements,
Yeah.
there would be no issue.
No, I'm not objecting to a fee, because I know we will have to do paperwork and those kinds of things, but
Yeah,
I'm objecting to it having to go to a public hearing and paying to put it in the paper, and then we have to come here and listen to people who will have nothing to say about it because you're just joining your lot.
yeah. The ones that we've had, I don't think we've had anybody here
No,
that's been opposed.
generally nobody ever.
I don't think there's been anybody that's opposed.
Generally they won't.
Okay, so is there possibility that somebody would want to join, they own a whole block and they want to join all of their lots to avoid specials? Is that,
Oh, yeah, people do that. That's why Lane did it.
do we have anything that,
Well, the specials
Says-
board can determine if by area or different things, I assume.
yeah, so we wouldn't ever say no because of that reason anyway.
I don't think it would be our
No,
place. I
no,
think
no.
that's
We
up to the
couldn't say,
specials board
you
to
can't join
determine
those
that.
together, we know you're just trying to avoid the special. Oh, yeah, that's not in there, so, no. So I don't,
Yeah, I don't think that's. a
other
good
than
reason.
however much it costs us to redo the paperwork for the taxation, I don't see why it's a hearing issue. I don't even really see why it would be a city commission issue.
Well, probably because you're changing, the way lots are, you're changing lots. You know, you're changing, the city map for one thing, that's gonna have to be changed eventually.
Yeah.
You know,
So
you're
it's-
changing all that stuff, you have to have a record of it somewhere.
But why isn't it a rubber stamp?
I don't know.
Here's your rubber stamp, please give me $150, or $200, or whatever it is.
Yeah, probably, I don't know, good question. I guess you wanna write something up and then we could look at it.
I did that once.
Yeah, it wasn't very detailed,
Well,
if I remember correctly.
and my only I liked what you had, where you discussed the, frontally contiguous lots, where you know, like Tweetins, where they're boom, 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 and
Yeah.
they wanna put it on there. That's not the issue, because it's not one lot here and one lot over
Yeah,
here.
they're contiguous, they form a
Only-
yard,
yeah,
or a compound.
and
I
that's
should
my
call it.
only concern, is that we're creating a new term that would really
Yeah.
throw things out of whack.
Yeah.
So, that, my only thought was, whatever ideas we have going here, if we can somehow tweak what's currently there, I don't know, that would,
Well, so far, basically, we've just been, determining what we think the ordinance kind of means
mhm,
without actually changing anything.
mhm. And,
Um,
you know, with adding,
And I don't know if that's right or not.
and just adding the box on this application form
Yeah,
to include lot joining, now I can't find the sheet, but you know what we're talking about.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Just add lot joining next to lot splitting,
right.
then
And
at
then-
least they come in with a clear idea. We don't sit here and try to remember, you know,
No, that's
who
true.
did
That's
we
a
do
good
this
point.
to, are we doing the same thing?
Yeah, we look kind of bad here because,
Yes, 'cause
how did we do this last
We
time?
want to be consistent, and that makes us look good, but
Yeah,
we can't
So, I mean,
remember
I'm-
what's
Can't
consistent.
remember what's consistent.
But if we want to add it into here, then we have to,
That's a whole lot
Draw
more
it up.
commotion, I assume, than adding a box on
Yeah.
here. But
well, I think if we're
Maybe.
gonna add a box here,
Box,
we
we
need
have
to
to
add
have-
something.
add
in here.
something in there.
a line.
Something.
All
Is there
right,
anything
so
lot joining?
if we each give wording one more try, and we talk about this at the next meeting, will we all just roll over and die, or can we try it?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would have to go, if we change it, then that just goes to the city commission and it gets
I imagine it
Read
has to
there.
get published in the paper again,
published
right?
for,
I wanna say it has to be read,
Oh, yeah.
like twice, I think.
twice and three
Right.
times,
Okay.
or,
It's twice. I think all you gotta do is read the part that you add. You gotta
Okay,
read
so
the
you don't
whole
have to
thing.
put it in the paper, but you would have to put it on the agenda for city commission.
We'd have to check into that, but there's a procedure, I can't remember what it is.
So the
Because we
magic-
did it when we did the animal ordinance.
Oh, yeah. So.
Well, we wasn't, us, but it's an
So-
ordinance.
So we will each try coming up with some wording that closes loopholes but is still simple.
I love that idea.
All right.
All right, super.
Yeah, simple.
Oh.
Exclamation mark,
Simple and
exclamation.
perfect, that's like the dress you're always looking for that you can't find.
So one last item
Never had that
on
problem.
our agenda. I had a resident, ask about, commercial business operating in a residential neighborhood. And, his,
It's your neighbor.
it's the Kings, it's P&Z Land Development. Operates, so their home is across the street from the Baptist church. They built that brand new blue, it's a very nice blue house, just kind of, it's actually kitty corner kind of from the Baptist church.
Okay.
They basically own a series of lots going down the hill.
They bought that Cooley, right?
Yep. They have an accessory building, a large, whole barnish looking building, and he operates his, business, dirt work business, out of that location, which is very residential.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it couldn't be in kind of a worse spot. So now, down the hill, across that road, which I believe it's
Right next to us,
that
yeah.
must be here. So across the street, is the individual who contacted me, very small kids, safety concerns because
There's
he
a
runs large
construction
equipment.
business.
And besides the safety concern, there's a street maintenance issue there as well. I assume because those roads would not be, that road wouldn't be a main road in town. You know, is there a difference in how those are kind of built to
Like Main
maintain?
Avenue here is thicker asphalt. That's a
Yeah.
residential street. It's a little less asphalt,
Yep.
correct?
I mean, there's just several concerns. And I guess when he brought it up, I was like, it's been several years since we built the home.
Yeah.
It's amazing that nobody has commented on it
Yeah.
until now, and I think he's just fed up and he has kids that are going to be running around the neighborhood, and it was just one of those things where he said, okay, why is this here?
Yeah.
And
Why
is
is
there,
it tolerated?
and according to our ordinances here, a home occupation is allowed in residential neighborhoods. However,
Do you know where that is?
yeah, I'm trying to look, I got it here.
Sorry to interrupt.
Home
Is that under residential?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it's pretty much the same definition, regardless of if it's R1, R2, whatever. Yes, so like page 14-ish is where we start.
Oh, okay.
Allowable, permitted uses, single-family detached, churches, schools, public facilities, accessory buildings and structures, home occupation. So then if you go to the definition of home occupation,
Oh, yeah.
occupation which is carried on in a dwelling unit by members of the family is clearly secondary to the use of residential dwellings and does not create excessive noise, traffic, or conflict with adjoining uses.
Yeah.
That last one, that one kind of strikes me as being I realize that, and I, you know, for starters, the Kings are good people. I have no issue with
Oh, yeah.
them at all. I wouldn't want to cause a hardship to a business in town at all. And that's not the citizen's issue as well.
Mhm.
But you still have to address that if
It's
citizen
certainly-
asks you, why are they not following the ordinance?
And it's unfortunate, you know, a CPA operating out of the basement of their home is one thing.
Yeah.
A dirt work operation,
Right.
and they're coming in and out of basically an alley, you know.
Right.
You hate to draw those distinctions, but you kind of have to for safety and,
Well, it's really continuing on and on and on.
It is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how they're getting approval to keep extending the culvert and take more and more of
and that
the-
was the other comment, that
They just did it.
basic, and
But
then I assume that's
he continues
probably,
to do it.
We've
But-
had more?
Oh, yeah, he's added more.
and now the comment, the other, and
Well,
I
look
drove
at
by it
that.
just the other day too. So it's all coming downhill, it's all runoff, and at the bottom of the hill is literally what I would consider a burn pile.
Yep, it
And,
is.
you know,
Really?
I don't, you know, you don't want to be
No, but.
you don't want to restrict
you-
a business, but he probably should be in a business district.
And
Yeah.
if you don't enforce your ordinance,
Yep.
people will quit coming to the board. They'll just do what they want to do because we don't do anything.
Well, and
As a
who wants to
consequence.
move into that neighborhood?
Right.
You take one look down and say, I'd
Right.
go the other way. I
Right.
mean, it has to affect house
I agree,
values and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Um,
Rainey did pull up, sorry,
I probably pay some of the highest taxes in town,
and
and I
so,
live in the midst of it.
yeah, and,
So-
you know, it doesn't look like in their building permits that there was any, it discusses a detached garage in the building permit, house and detached garage.
Right.
But as far as business variance, you know, and maybe was there a conditional use permit?
Not that I
It
know
doesn't
of.
look like anything.
No.
So I guess that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah. I really think this is probably more of a city commission
Yep.
thing. You know, we have him, we have Kugler who has all his
Yes.
stuff there. We have the people with the semis down here.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a couple others if I think on it a little bit, you know.
Well,
And-
who's got the semis that are on Fourth Avenue too? I've been wondering that. I think it's the guy that had the golf course or go-karts or, what's his name?
Oh,
Matthews.
Yeah,
Matthews.
he's
He
got a
does
semi
drive
parked there
trucks,
all the
doesn't he?
time. And I'm
Really?
sitting here thinking, oh yeah,
So just overnight?
oh, it'll sit there all weekend for sure.
I'm assuming it's empty, but never assume.
I don't know, it sits there.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, on our end, there's not much we can do at this board,
Right.
but I want, as a starting point, I guess.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Yep.
I mean, I'm glad it was brought up,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Well, yeah,
It needs to be
because-
dealt with.
Yeah, Blues is
Otherwise, why would
actually
you come
getting,
here for a
it's
permit?
getting,
So
Yeah.
why the
Yeah.
distinction between residential and commercial?
I would
Yeah.
never even have thought about that, that's never,
Yeah.
now that, he bought that, but that would have been zoned residential.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And it
There's no
doesn't, there's
commercial
no
there.
indication that they even tried to change the, I don't know,
Yeah.
the, from residential to commercial. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
really-
the only place he parks his equipment, right?
It's my
Yeah.
understanding it is, because it's there all the time.
Right.
And according to this resident, it comes and goes pretty much all day,
Okay.
most days.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
You know, comes and goes, but, and I think they do some snow removal in the winter too, so I'm sure there is, even in the winter, things coming and
Well,
going.
I'm sure,
so-
yeah, yeah.
And it's just unfortunate, but that's not the spot for business
You're
like
absolutely
that.
right, it's not the spot.
Well, you don't want to impede their business, but you also
Exactly.
don't want all the property owners around it to suffer because
It devalues
we're not
the
holding up what
property.
we said we would.
And it was a residential before this came in.
Yeah.
You know, if it was a commercial and all of a sudden these people were building
Yeah,
around it,
ask for a variance to build. yeah.
I may be less inclined to.
Yeah, basically what he did is he took unusable property and made
Yep,
it usable.
yep.
But that's
It's-
beside the point,
So, I don't
yeah,
know.
Yeah, that's what he did.
so, okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I never would have dreamt that that was gonna happen there.
Well, it needs to be dealt with, you know, it's the same with people junk in their yards, you know, there's a guy across the highway by Heritage Heights that has umpteen million cars, in his driveway on his yard, and, oh my God, it's terrible. You know, actually, there's a couple of them over there.
Well, I don't know that we want to mush all those together.
Well, the
I
city
think
needs
the
to,
ones where
the
people are
city
not-
needs to put them all together, you know.
Is this, just
This
so I
one is
can,
unique though, in that it is a
Well,
it's a
zoning
clear
violation,
violation.
basically.
Absolutely.
Is it
Yeah,
something
and so
that-
I would say, don't distract the commission into six
No, I
directions on this.
understand.
can
I
I,
think we should probably have
does
that
it
on
have
the
to,
agenda.
yeah, does it go on the agenda, or does the citizen literally have to come to the, I mean, he will be more than happy to, I just want to be able to go back to him and say, this is what we discussed on it, so.
Yeah,
whether he-
you want to put it on the agenda for the meeting? We'll discuss it at the city
Yeah.
meeting. And I'll just say, you know, it was brought up at planning and zoning, it's
Mhm.
not zoned, you know, and there has been some complaints.
Yep.
From some of the, there has been some complaints from the area, and, you know what? Needs to be dealt with.
So, another question, as long as we're talking kind of zoning and things, and I have no idea what they're gonna do, but I understand Richard bought the house that's burned on Fourth Avenue for garbage, and,
What house?
Also on Fourth Avenue.
it was, the carpenters, you would know him.
How far down Fourth
You
Avenue?
would know
Which way?
them. He was a carpenter and, right next to Tryon's to the west.
Oh,
Oh,
girl.
that one.
Art
Grove
Grove is
Days.
Yeah.
house.
That house Richard bought,
Richard Perkravich?
Perkravich.
It's burned?
The last owner had a fire.
Anyway,
I missed that part, okay, so it's
So-
not livable.
I don't know what Richard will do, but, I don't know, can that be a duplex there? Is that in our zoning, or can that be, what can he do? I mean, 'cause I think we better watch what's going on there, at least I will.
R1.
I just hope that, I hope the grass gets
I don't know how you can
mowed.
make it into a duplex.
R1, single family, church, school, accessory buildings, home occupation, daycare, modular homes, office buildings. Nope,
So, I'll just
it's
have
not
to
big enough
say,
for a duplex.
you could probably put an apartment in the basement and
You know what,
upstairs.
now that I think about it, the one next to it where, the old Oscar and Chris's Jewelry, you know?
Yep.
There was an apartment downstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right, it could be the apartment down.
I think they
But-
should do it.
You have to do, like, new fire codes and things between the apartment and the building's been burned.
Why,
Sure.
Yeah, I could turn my basement into an apartment. It's got a second ceiling, but, you know, it's a little noise between the rooms.
Mhm.
I know they live in the basement there. Anyway.
So, yeah, you got that, you got, oh my gosh.
Okay.
I don't know either, I've been gonna call, I don't know if that Roberson's house has ever gotten mowed, but it's terrible.
We've had a few complaints about it, and so the neighbor's going to mow the boulevard, and it's my understanding that they were going to mow the boulevard, and then they're on my list to send a letter, they have them mowed. There's a whole list of properties in town
Yeah,
that we're gonna send letters to mow.
Looks bad.
that one's bad.
That person is in Texas.
As of noon today, it hasn't been mowed, so.
So somebody bought that house now, or is it the bank ownership?
It's, the last name is Prideaux, and their address is Texas.
I don't know what
So what
happened.
happens in those cases? We charge them for the mowing then?
Yeah,
So we were asking today, so Brian says the last time you've done it's been years ago. He doesn't know if it was, you hired it out or if the city personnel did it.
We
but
do
then-
not do with our stuff. I think we have hired Chris maybe to mow.
Yeah, I'm thinking to keep us separation there so that
Yeah, we don't
we
want
are
our people
deliberately
doing it.
generating business for ourselves, as a
right.
city.
Well, we have enough stuff too.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Contract,
I mean,
We
there's
hire
a
somebody
conflict
to
of
do it
interest.
because then they assess the cost of that to
Right.
the assessment.
Yeah.
So that's how the cost is given to them is.
Yeah.
Okay, so not just a bill, but it's just to add it on to the taxes that they may or may not ever pay.
Right.
Okay.
yeah.
Somebody pays them actually.
Hmm.
Anything else or can I let stuff for?
This is why I ate
My
before I
son's
came.
birthday today.
Yeah.
But he's 14, so he
I
probably
knew it was
care
gonna
less.
be a long meeting, but,
Can I put my stuff in here?
I think it was a good meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we get up some nice stuff for, the, lot joining. But it'll still have to go before, you know, and if there's anything else in there, not just that needs tweaking, you know.
Let's not split our attention.
I'm just-
If I get one sentence written,
I know,
it'll
but
be
the
pretty
thing
good.
is, if you're gonna change it, change it.
That's why
what
we
you
put
wanted
off
to.
changing it like 3 times.
I know, that's
already.
why we never change it.
Yeah.
Do you leave all your papers here then? Is that how you do it?
I am starting tonight.
I do,
Yeah, I
because
think
I
that's
don't.
a great idea. If-
I like
if,
that.
I wrote
Yeah.
on it. I'm taking that
It
one.
just goes into the filing cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great
My
idea.
paper's going together.
Well,
Well, that's the thing, I didn't want to
somewhat,
put stuff through the
and now
printer,
I've been
so.
wanting some of it, and I never have my book with me, 'cause it's at home.
Well, see, I figure Rainey has it all.
Okay, I just have one thing to add.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah?
Well, that's okay. I got, actually, this was addressed to Larry, and he just asked me to bring it up.
Oh, yeah.
is that there is, proposed amendments are available for review for the North Dakota Building Codes. They're having, a public hearing on those codes on July 11th at the Great River Energy Building in Bismarck. These public hearings are scheduled for, 8 until 5 p.m. So, not sure if somebody from this board wants to go and attend this because these are building codes.
It isn't gonna mean anything to me.
Well,
We
Lots
don't
of
deal
our
with
things-
building codes.
lots of our things just say we go by the state code.
Yeah.
even if we sat through the meeting and we thought something would be an undue hardship on small towns, would we have much of a voice in that? Probably not.
I don't know if you wanna see it.
Yeah, what's the date?
June 11th, July 11th.
That's, Thursday? No.
I was gonna say if they
Thursday.
mention,
No, it's
oh.
They don't, do they say which codes or
Yeah,
what?
there's,
Yeah.
no, it's like all, it's,
Whole book of them.
yes.
So to sound intelligent, we'd have to read the whole century code and.
It'd be one thing if it was like there were specific
Yeah, the rules
list of
for having a
changes, like
basement
this
apartment.
is changing.
Yeah.
Bruce saying there's nothing something.
So is the electrical code and stuff in there too? or? See,
International Building Code, International Residential Code, International Mechanical Code, International Fuel Gas Code, and International Energy Conservation Code.
these are
state-
more of the way things are built, not where they're built.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know. I mean, I think it'd be really interesting to go, but I think unless you do it, you're gonna be just sawing logs, through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna go, man, this is boring.
International Residential Code.
There's a new roof on the building across the street.
Yeah.
You've been looking at it this whole time and just found that out.
Well, he's been focused.
Yeah, I think
Good.
so.
That's
Focused
good.
and driven.
All right, are we done?
Yeah, I don't
We are
wanna
so
go to
done.
We're
this,
done. We're adjourned.
Okay.
Thank you, Rainey.
thank you.
Yeah.
So you'll have to let us know when that public hearing is, so.
When is the next city commission meeting, by the way, so I can